Hello and welcome to Create Secure Internal Training and Organizational Video Channels with Microsoft Teams and Stream. This is combining a few different pieces of functionality and even building on one of the last sessions we completed with Microsoft Forms and how you can use Teams to record, Microsoft Stream to present from Teams videos, third-party videos, quizzes, and a little bit more as far as how to integrate it into the different ways Teams can integrate Stream into your organization. So I'm excited about walking through several different scenarios today. Today we're going to cover, this session is, we're going to go relatively quickly because we are recording it. One of the things I do like to recommend is if you have questions, the Q&A panel is already open. Go ahead and start entering questions into that panel and we will cover them at the end. We have about 30 minutes of content to cover, as well as we want you to be able to go back to it so you can walk through. And as we built out some demos and tutorials here for you. So we're going to cover just a few different video use cases that we've seen for organizations where video can come in handy. Really, we're primarily talking internally to your organization of how Teams and Stream can work together. Then we're going to give you a demonstration. I've got about 10 different things that I want to show you to be able to walk through. And then we will have some Q&A at the end, as well as just some quick recommended next action items and a summary for you. So before we get too deep into that, I always like to cover a little bit about MyTech. For those of you who are not familiar with who we are a small and medium business technology and services consulting company. We have learned over the 20 years of us being in business that there's a proven IT strategy that we know works and we know achieves proven results and consistent results for our clients. We understand that not every business problem is a technology problem, so we just try and at least take those technology pieces off your plate so that really you can focus on what your highest and best use in your organization is at and being able to be productive. As we coach our team, we like to make IT easy for you. That doesn't always make it that it means IT is easy for us. However, that's our challenge. We're definitely not perfect and we don't always achieve that. So we always ask that if we are not making IT easy, please let us know. It's our opportunity to learn. So we look forward to that. And working together with our clients, our proven IT strategy, and making sure that we have quality alignment and the right kind of collaboration and dialogue, we know that our clients can achieve 4 times more value and productivity from their IT investments. So if you'd like to learn more about that, please reach out and contact us. We'd love to chat with you more. Otherwise, that's enough about MyTech. Let's dig into the session today, all right? Okay, let's talk about some different use cases. That's one of the things that we always try and do here is not just say, here's all the different features and capabilities of these tools. We try and connect some dots for you to common ways or use cases that apply to nearly every organization that we work with. So here's some of those use cases. Most organizations have some sort of regular all company communication where you are, whether it's on a monthly basis, through the COVID-19 pandemic, we've actually been doing all company communication on a weekly basis and just having some open Q&A and recording those. But oftentimes on a weekly or a monthly or quarterly basis is pretty common for most organizations. Then inside of that, you have departmental training. If you're part of the marketing team, the operations team, the sales team, whatever team you might be a part of, there's typically some sort of role-based or department-based training that would be applicable in that segment. It's just a subset. As well as when you think about anytime you onboard a team member or an employee, there's oftentimes consistent organizational onboarding processes or processes that your organization follows that applies to everyone, like expense report submission, for example, or how to request PTO. You might have some videos that you might want to put together on things like that apply to everybody regardless of their position. Of course, we want to have a little fun with culture, so there's different ways that you can do that, depending on how you want to integrate culture videos, or whether it's fun videos or otherwise into your infrastructure. And then there's some interesting components about private. So for instance, if any of these recordings aren't applicable to an all company channel or a department, and maybe there's some other subset or cross-functional group that you don't already have a built-in structure, well, how can you accomplish private or confidential recordings if you wanted to be able to record those and refer back later? So we're going to cover all of these pieces through the session today. And again, I'd like to remind you, if you have questions as you come up, please enter them into the Q&A panel and we'll cover those at the end. So, and I'm sure there's other scenarios and other use cases for Teams and Stream and video, again, but we are focused on really internal, securing your internal videos and making them available to the appropriate and respective members of your team. So that's what we're going to show today. All right, without further ado, let's get into a demonstration of how all this stuff works together. So I'm going to start by clicking on Teams. Many of you are familiar with that, so we've created, this is a common structure that organizations have. Again, you've got your kind of all company channel, the different departments here. By the way, I've learned a new trick that you can do this with your cursor, so I'm going to try and do that so you can see where I'm clicking. But through here, we've got the Teams channel. So I want to just reference just the Teams structure, because I'm going to pull up Microsoft Stream, and I wanted to just kind of give you an overview of how Stream uses vernacular of groups. So if you go to the home of Stream, and one of the ways to do that is just go to office.com and you go to Stream, and this is what will open for you. So, and if you got, it's kind of like a YouTube, internal YouTube, if you're not familiar with Stream. And by the way, I'll just show you office.com. If you have office.com open, Stream, this is what that looks like. If you don't see it, go ahead and click on the all apps here, or you can click on Stream. If you click on Stream, this is what you get. So we have uploaded several videos, but we also have some that we'll show you. But I want to go to, if I click on my content, notice there's different segments here. We'll get to some channels here in a moment, but I'm going to start with groups, because groups, as you'll notice, reflect your team structure. So we have the all MTP 365 team, we have the business continuity team, change advisory board, etc. So when you actually, I'm going to flip back to teams, and you'll notice that these groups here are basically what the same thing as what Teams calls channels, right? So you got the change advisory board, we have their business continuity team, cross-functional team, and the all company team. So in Stream, it's one thing to note that you have these natural connectors. So one of the things we've talked about, when you create a team, you're creating an organizational group, and you're creating a SharePoint site. Well, you're also basically creating a Microsoft Stream group, and it connects to the respective team. So that's a good start to understand how, when you create video, if you're recording, that those recordings go into those respective groups by default. Okay, so with that said, let's say you're going to be doing some all company communication. Now, one of the things I'm going to highlight this training channel in a second, but for all company communication, oftentimes what we do is we just have the general channel, or maybe you have an all company meeting channel that you might choose to just, that's where you publish all your company meeting. If you're not familiar, you can just come down here to the Meet Now, and you can add, this is the May 2020 all company meeting, right? You can hit Meet Now, and it's connecting. And if I just click on the more actions here and I hit start recording, which I'm actually going to do just for the sake so you see what happens if you haven't done this before, I'm going to hit start recording. It's now going to record. Of course, it's going to actually give everyone a nice little notice up here. So I'm going to go ahead and click dismiss up there. But in order to start the recording, you just click right here and then hit start or stop recording. So for the sake of the demonstration, I'm not going to let this go very long. So I'm going to actually just hit stop recording. Yep. And then I'm going to go ahead and click hang up. There we go. And shoot, I should have noticed at the top it said, notice here it says recording has stopped. Saving recording to Microsoft Stream. So that's what's happening right now. It's actually saving that, and that'll become available to me here in just a moment. But this is just a simple way, by starting a meeting in this channel, it's automatically going to make this video available in that channel and to whomever has access to that channel. So that's one of the things that when you think about training, it's a simple way to do it, or just recording videos. Another purpose, as far as I want to show in the sales team, one of the things that I wanted to do in Stream. So I'm gonna come back to the sales team channel here in a moment, but I'm actually going to pull up Stream, and I'm actually going to scroll down here to the sales team group. All right. One of the things that I did in the sales team group is I created this channel, but notice once you go to the group, you can really quickly and easy create a channel or upload a video. Click here. right? And you can create the channel. I'm not going to create one because I already did, so I'm going to click down here and cancel that. But I am going to go down here to the channel tab, and notice I actually already have a sales training videos channel created. So I'm just going to click on that. I got to click on the sales training videos. Now I don't have any videos here, but I want to upload one really quick while the other one is converting. So I just clicked here on select more files. I'm going to click on desktop. And I actually recorded a third-party video. Doesn't matter the tool you use. There's plenty of them out there. You could use Teams to record it, but I want to use this example if you happen to record something outside of Teams. So I'm just going to click on that and then click on open. And so now that is going to select language, click save. So now this is going to, it already pulled in the name, and I'm just going to, and permissions by default, if you notice when I click permissions, I could say allow everyone, but by default, because I already created this channel, the sales training videos channel, it automatically is associating this third-party video into the sales team and the sales training videos channel. So I'm going to go ahead and click publish. I'm going to click options really quick so you see that. I can choose people, comments, and auto caption, but I'm just going to click publish. So now what it's doing is it's processing. So it's taking this video and it's processing and it's uploading it into Microsoft Stream. So I'll work on that a little bit more once that's done processing, but I'm going to go back to, actually I'm going to go back to our general channel here. I was hoping that this might have already been, hit refresh here and see if that's already done. And it's not quite done yet, so that's okay. I'm going to go back here to stream. One of the things that I've also done as this video completes, I'm going to show you forms. Now, Stephanie, one of the last sessions we did, we actually talked about Microsoft Forms. So one of the things that I did is I went to Forms. Again, if you go to theoffice.com and click on Forms, that's going to bring you to this page. I'll click here, go to this page. But what I did is I'm going to move over here to Group Forms. And I actually created a group form, but this is where I could choose, you know, what group. So I actually chose the sales team, and I created this group form. For instance, that video that I just created is a little introduction. So I actually built out a questionnaire for this form as far as that I want people to fill out to demonstrate that they've watched the video. So when I come over here to share, I'm going to click that. And I'm actually just going to copy this, and I'll use this a little later and you'll see where, but I just want to give you an example. So I'm going to click copy, and I'm going to embed this form as part of that video. So now that I've uploaded this video, hopefully I can hit refresh and that this video will be available. Let's see if I can go to my content. I want to go to groups. I want to go to the sales team, and I want to go to the channels. It looks like that video is up there. So now I've got this video available, so that's good. And then what I want to come over here and do is, if I wanted to update the video details, I could. That goes into the permissioning that basically when I uploaded, I had to fill out. But I don't want to do that at the moment because I've already done that. But notice I created this video and it already started. By default, it turns on a transcript. So you can actually see the transcript of the recording. And that's one of the cool things I like about Stream. So this is something I recorded outside of Microsoft Teams, and I just uploaded the video into Stream, and it still transcribed the video. Again, I didn't do very long, which is I did that on purpose, so it wouldn't take very long to accomplish all of that. Notice if I wanted to make this video, and let's say this was a quiz, I wanted to make sure people watched it, and I wanted to have a quiz. Well, I can click here on the interactivity part, and it gives me the option to add a form. So again, I already created the form, so I'm going to click here to add form, and I'm going to paste the URL here because I already copied it, right? So that's the form I created, and this is the office.com intro quiz. And it gives me the opportunity to choose when I want to have that form. So I don't want it at the beginning, I want it all the way at the end. So notice how as I'm moving the slider, the time changes. So I want to move this all the way right to the end here, and I'll say add to timeline. I'm just going to click right here. So now, as I've got this form here, but if I click play, it basically ended, and now it says continue to video. So because I brought it to the end, it's pulling up the Microsoft form that I actually asked it to complete, and then I can say, did I watch this video? I'm going to say no, just for the sake of, because I actually didn't. How informative? I'll give it 4 points, and I'm going to click Microsoft.com, even though it was Office.com. So I can click submit. Once I click submit, it's actually submitting that form. So this could be something that you embed, but I'll show you how to embed this into a different area of Teams and Stream. But I like to show the how you can interact the form. Once I click submit, I can also click view results. Kind of a cool little thing is that it can show the correct answer, and if you selected the wrong one, it'll tell you, well, why did you click on the quiz? I actually entered this text, and I also put close if they selected Microsoft.com. So anyway, it gives people instant feedback. If I want to go back to the video, I can click right to here. So it's just an example of how you can upload a third-party form to a channel and be able to create some interactivity if you wanted to add a quiz to the end of a video. So all right, with that said, now what I want to do is I actually want to make sure, I'm going to go back to my content, go to groups, and I'm going to click the sales team group again. And what I want to do is I'm going to go to the channels, because what I want to do is I want to actually embed this channel into the sales team. So as many times you come down here to the breadcrumbs and you'll see some different actions. I'm going to click on that, and I'm just going to click share. Pretty easy. Once I click share, I'm just going to come here, okay, copy, and now I've copied what I need. So I'm going to go back to Teams. And I'm going to come down here to the sales team general. Again, I already created the sales team channel. And if you come up here to the add a tab at the top, I'm going to click add tab, and I'm going to choose stream. And once I click stream, it'll give me the option, well, can I paste the link? So I'm actually going to just go ahead and hit paste this link here. Hopefully it lets me do that. And notice it already pulled up. It's under the sales training videos channel, sales team group. It automatically populates that because that's what I had built that team into, showed it. And then I'm just going to name the tab as sales team video training videos. All right, click save. Now, couldn't save your tab settings. Okay, that's odd. Don't know why that's the case. I've never ran across that, so I'm not sure why that's doing that. Let's do training. Well, let's try this again. I'm going to go to the new tab. This is interesting. I did this before and it worked just fine. So click here. I'm going to paste that into this section. That's good. And call it sales training videos. That's what I did. I didn't click on it. Hit save. And so now I've got a new tab named Sales Training Videos, and it embeds this training video. And as I watch that, it would just populate and everything that I just showed you, it would pull up in Microsoft Stream. So it pulls it up right in here. So I want you to, and if I bring this all the way over here to the end, notice it's got a little spot for the quiz here. So hit play there. As it hits that, it pulls up the form automatically. And that's the quiz. Now, it might stop me because I think I said only one submission per person, which is a setting in the form. Again, so that's pulling that up, hopefully, as we speak, and allows people to take the quiz. So this is the way in which, yeah, I already submitted that. So I'll actually show you how to fix that real quick. So I'm going to go into forms again. One of the things you can do is when you come over here into settings, click on settings. And notice it gives you an option, only one response per person. So if I just uncheck this, that automatically now changes that that setting that I just said. But that's why when I was in here in Teams, when it gave me this result, your response has already been submitted. It's because I had already submitted it, but I just changed that setting. So now I don't have to worry about that. So I can continue back to video, finish it out, and be done. So that's a way in which you can integrate, one of the ways that you can integrate a video and a channel, a stream channel into say a team channel by just creating a tab. The other way that I like to illustrate is by having a training channel. This is where you might just choose to do recordings like this inside a training channel, and that's an example of how you can just add, by doing a meeting here inside the training channel, it automatically then populates in the training channel here, and it also then when you come over to stream, I'm going to click on stream again, and I'm going to go back to my groups just to give you an illustration. Go back to my groups, and I'm going to go into the all MTP 365 column training, and I'm going to click on the videos. Notice that 5 ways to hold Teams meetings training. I basically recorded that, so I'm going to come down here to Teams to show you. So that this meeting right here is because I held it inside of the all MTP 365. It actually is already inside of my group because that's where I created the channel. So you get the idea that this is where you can basically create those videos and they automatically populate into your channel section in Stream. So, okay, so now I've uploaded a third-party video. We've created an interactive quiz and put that form into that. I showed you how to create a tab into the sales team channel. One of the things I also like to show is that I've created other videos. So I'm going to click on my video content. And I actually have a video here that I created that is not a part of any channel. So if you, when you're in Stream and you just go to My Content, right? So click on My Content and click on Videos. Basically, any video that you're a part of or have access to will show up. So I created this video here, and I'm going to click on this little icon over here where it says Add to Group or Channel. So notice I'm going to pull that up, and right now it's not a part of any group or any channel. So what I want to do, I actually want to add this one because this is part of my employee onboarding. So I want to add this to a group, to a channel that I've created, which is around our team onboarding. So I'm going to click the drop down here and choose channel because I want to add this video that I recorded to a channel because it wasn't there initially. And I'm going to call, and I've already created a group. So I just search for the group or the channel that exists because I created a channel called Team Member Onboarding Training. I missed a G there. So I'm going to click that. And notice it added that group and it added that channel, and I can click save. So now that I've saved that, I've got my videos, but it also then pulls up. So I'm going to go back to my, actually click on my groups here, and I'm going to go to all company, and I'm going to go to the channels because that's where I just added it. And notice I have team member onboarding. I'm going to click on this channel here, and now that video that I just added shows up here. So that's an example of how you can start with your videos that you may have recorded outside of a particular channel. And if you want, you can go in and add that to it. So this is where you can update video details here, add to watch list. There's other more actions you can do as far as trimming the video. You can add images, etc. There's other things you can do here when you like. But one of the reasons why I wanted to show that, going back to my content, is under videos. You might have videos that are here that you haven't added to a channel. And so one of the ways to do that is you just come over to these icons right here on the side on any given video. So maybe there's a video that's already part of a channel, for example, this one actually isn't. It's just part of members because this, actually I'll use that for a later, that other illustration. But this one, for example, I know is already part of a channel. It's already part of the All MTP 365 channel. So if I wanted to say add that to the sales team training, sales training videos, I could choose that, and now it's added, and so now the sales team also has access to it in their channel. So what's important to note is I didn't create a copy of this video and add it to that channel. I just increased or added the permissions to that channel. The other thing that's important to know that unless I have the permissions to be able to do that, I wouldn't be able to do that either. I'd have to have permissions both to all MTP and to the sales team in order to be able to do that for that video. All right, click save. So that's ways where if you have videos that aren't showing up where you want them, you can navigate to your content under videos and you just hit on this little icon over here as far as adding to a group channel. So that's how you can definitely get that into recording, into a channel, a stream channel. Okay, let's see here. Now the other thing that I showed you how to add the tab into Teams. And I'll actually go to this other, now this recording is done here. So for instance, going back to where we started as far as in the general, the all company recording is here, and that's going to show up under the all company recordings in Stream. So I'll actually illustrate that by going to my groups again and going to all company group and showing all the videos by clicking on that. And notice this is the video that I just showed you in Teams. Once it's populated, it automatically populates the respective channel in the team or in the group, in the Stream group. Okay. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to hit on, we talked about culture team. What if you just wanted culture videos? There's a couple different ways you could do it, but I just invite you to, I'm going to click on home here in the Stream, is that by, you could choose to just create a channel that is by coming up here and saying create. And you could choose just to create a channel or a group here. If I created the channel, I could just call this channel Culture Videos. And put a description there. And one of the things you can do here is actually say make it a company-wide channel. I imagine it's culture, you want that a company-wide channel, as opposed to you could select a group. So I'm going to click company-wide, and notice the group search goes away. And that's one of the things you could do here. I'm actually going to take this culture channel, and I'm just going to hit the ellipses here and share. And this is just one example. I'm going to click copy again of how you could use culture channels or culture stream channels. For instance, let's say you wanted it to be a part of your all company channel. You could do the same thing that we did earlier, which is add a tab here, click on stream, and then paste this once that gives me the opportunity. Yep, culture videos, company-wide channel, click save. And now I've got a channel here, it's not gonna have any videos in it, where I could actually have culture videos. I could link this in multiple different places. Alternatively, I could also create, a brand new team if I wanted to down here, and I could just create a team called, culture team. And I could do that as well. And I can make it organizational wide as far as that goes. So I'm not going to create that, but you get the idea. There's different ways you could do it, but I like the idea of being able to create a culture channel, and you could link it to multiple channels or multiple teams and multiple tabs, or you could just create a culture team in general, and that can have access for everybody. All right, so the last thing that I want to show is an example of a private confidential information. One of the things that I wanted to illustrate actually by going in here, notice there's some private channels here. If I click on this private channel, and if I try, actually I tested this, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start a meeting. And I'm going to call it confidential, like collaboration or something like that. All right, so I'm going to hit meet now. And when I hit meet now, once it actually starts the meeting, I'm going to click on the breadcrumbs here, or the ellipses, and notice it doesn't give me the option of recording. So that's one of the things. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing in a private channel or not, but I wanted to give everyone the insight that in a private channel, it doesn't really give you the option of recording the session. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and click hang up. That's all I wanted to illustrate is hanging up on that. But you can't, if you're trying to do a recording or hold a session in a private channel, you can't record it. So what I would encourage is use the Outlook invites. So if you go to your calendar inside of Outlook, and you just do new Teams meeting up here at the top. I would click on that and then just invite the people that you want to invite. And when you create that meeting and record it, what it'll do in stream, I'm not going to actually send that off, but I'm going to come back to stream here. I'm going to come back to stream and I'm going to go to my videos. And so I'm going to show you like this one, for example. If I want to see who, I'm going to click on add group or channel. Notice this has only been had access to Gerald, Stephanie, and myself are the only 3 people that had access to it. So and I was shown as the owner. So this is basically what happens is whomever you invited to that group in your organization or into that meeting in your organization, if you choose to record, it's only going to show those 3 people as part of that video, and it's going to show up in your videos in stream, but it's not going to show up anywhere inside of Teams other than the chat that you might have had for that session. So just be aware of that. And then because I'm the owner, I could share it, but that's also so I could share that to a private channel, or I could link it there. But just know that when you record just kind of a chat session, it's just going to show up, and whoever was a member of that conversation will show up for your viewers. That was one of the last things I really wanted to show you, to know that you'd think that if you're trying to have a private confidential conversation, doing that inside of a private channel would make sense, but it actually doesn't allow you to record those sessions. And that's part of the way the stream and SharePoint and Teams structure is built, and at least at the moment. So be aware of that. All right, so with that said, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint and kind of hit a summary. Here's some different things to consider. If you're going to do all company communications, maybe record that in your team channel. That's just one of the simplest ways to be able to do that. If you do departmental training, you might want to create a training channel like we saw, or you could just make it a training tab inside of the channel if you don't want to have channel sprawl or add additional channels to your environment. If you're doing HR, employee onboarding and process, you can use a stream channel, Teams channel, or a tab as we illustrated, and then you can add interactive quizzes at the end of those if you want to be able to kind of certify that people watched the video and was able to demonstrate their knowledge. Culture videos, we just demonstrated a quick where you could create your own stream channel, but of course you could create a culture team and record and upload videos there too. Finally, sorry about that. Finally, private recordings. Again, I put this on here because intuitively you'd think that a private channel might make sense. But that doesn't actually work. So you need to use kind of an Outlook Teams meeting invite if you want to record that session and make it private. So this is just a little summary that I like to provide, so you can, if you were to screenshot one section, this is it, to kind of give you some tips as far as how to use Teams and stream video and how they integrate together. Finally, again, start baby steps. Really, hopefully there are a few takeaways that you can take from this session today. Write one or two of them down. Try and take some baby steps in the near future. We do have an open forum session tomorrow, and then we have 2 sessions next week on Power BI and Power Automate. So we're actually building on several of these sessions, so you'll be able to see how Forms integrates with Power Automate as well as Power BI. So we're going to show you those next week. So thank you for watching today. I really appreciate your attention, and we're a couple minutes over, but usually folks are okay with that, so I apologize. But again, my name is Nathan Austin, and Stephanie Kingsley and produced today. So with that said, if anyone needs to drop off, thank you so much for attending or watching the recording. But for those